G'day folks, welcome to another episode of my 4x4. Today we're standing in front of something that's a little bit different and out of the ordinary for our channel, but I think you'll like what you're going to see. So obviously a 79 series. I'm going to call the owner of the car in now and we're going to have a little bit of a walk around. Rolly?
Thanks, Gary.
G'day mate, how are you?
Not too bad, thanks you.
Okay, so it's a 79, everyone can see that. So I think what we will do now for the viewers, first cab off the rank, we're standing at the front. Do you want to talk us through a couple of the mods that you've got on the front of the old girl?
The TJM bull bar and TJM sidebars and side steps. And a TJM 12,000 pound winch, remote control, and a factor 55 hitch on it.
Yep.
As you can see, the HCX Light Force bodies, they're actually double switched on the outside and the inside. You can have either one on.
Yeah, okay, so they're daytime running lights, are they, on the outside? Or are they both?
But night time, yeah.
Both at night?
Yep.
No problems. Okay, so while we're at the front here, and we're having a little bit of a look-see, something that's well, a little bit out of the ordinary, you don't see them, the Factor 55 hitch. What made you go that way?
Good question. Basically because of the durability of it, a little bit different than the normal hitch, and I thought we'd go that way, and it's a little bit safer, I think. And it's got a locking pin to go inside the clip, which is in there, which plays inside the actual clip, which keeps it on. Yeah,
and I think that's one thing that's important for people to have a little bit of a look at too. They're not the cheapest piece of kit in the world, the Factor 55 hitches, but you get what you pay for. And in my experience, they're fantastic. They stick in here out of the way. Like you say, those clips do actually lock in.
Yep.
Right, so you've got once you actually get them around whatever you're going to winch off of, it's not going to come out. Whereas a lot of the other normal clips, they just clip in, clip out, and they can sort of come out.
Also, you can put a D-shackle through the end of the eyelet of it.
Yep.
There's a hole in it. You know. But it's only been used to do a bit of light pulling. No recovery yet, so we'll see.
It's all right. It still looks all relatively new, mate. Relatively new. And okay, so you've got access to it from the front.
Yep.
And oh yeah, nice. So little access.
Fit your hand through. Change the gear.
Okay. Well, that saves the big cutouts up the top of the bar.
It does, yeah.
So, and just a quick one for you. I know it's only relatively new. How do you go with cleaning? That's all right. You'd get a hose in there relatively easily, I suppose.
Yeah, I've only given it a few light washes so far, Gary.
Yeah. No, like you say, you haven't had an opportunity to use it in anger yet.
No.
The day is but young.
That's it.
Okay, while we're standing at the front here, we'll just have a little bit of a kneel down. And do you have any underbody protection?
No, there's not. No, it's only just what the factory above the gearbox, below the gearbox, a front differential, a superior engineering front diff protection.
Yeah, that's one thing that I did notice under there was your diff protector. That looks very, very substantial, and I'm not necessarily going to climb under there and have a real close look at this point in time, but I think they're a very good thing. And if you're not going to use it for extreme rock crawling or anything, you probably don't really need that much underbody protection on it.
No.
It
also has a headlight upgrade.
Okay, so are they HIDs?
They are, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Factory ones aren't really
factory HIDs?
Yeah. These are an upgrade from TGM, these headlights in here.
Yeah, okay, very nice. Yeah. Very, very nice. And the old GME area?
Yep. It's a 6.9.
What's that, 6.9 dB?
Yep, it is, yep.
Very fancy. Very, very fancy. And you've obviously got the top-mount intercooler on these.
Yep, that's it.
No problem at all.
It's got a catch can and it's got a secondary fuel filter as well.
Yep. Okay, and what engine's in this one?
The V8 4.5.
4.5, and it's by the look of it, what is it, 2019?
218.
218?
November 218, I got it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So it is a real new one. It is a real new one. No problems. Okay, well that's a sort of brief look at the front. So what we'll do now is we'll pop around the side. We might pop around that side in the shade because it's starting to warm up out here, and we'll go through some of the mods on the side. Okay, well here we are at the side of the vehicle. So what I'll get you to do is we will take a step through. You've already roughly spoken about the brush bar, so that's no dramas. We'll get you to look at wheels and tyres first, and also lift. So what sort of rubber are you running?
KO2's 305. Running on a dynamic steel rim.
Yeah, so 16s?
16s they are. Yep. 16 by 305s.
Yeah. Okay, which equates to around about 33, yeah?
They are. They're 33.
They are exact 33s?
They are.
Okay, I was trying to do the rough math in my head. So I get 33. Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I see you've got freewheeling hubs on it as well. Is that a standard feature in the 79s?
They're the new hubs they got on the 79s. To actually lock them, you've got to use your wheel brace to put it in.
Okay, well, I was actually going to ask that question there because, yes, they're freewheeling hubs, but I was thinking, like, how exactly do you turn it? So,
yeah, well, they're in automatic at the moment, so you can actually put it in four-wheel drive automatically.
oh, okay, so that you can put it in auto mode or then you can manually unlock it and unlock it.
To actually, they will come out of four-wheel drive if you reverse,
yeah.
So you should actually put them on lock once you want to do some serious four-wheel driving.
Yep, no problems at all. Okay, just very briefly, it's got a little battle scar on the sidebar. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, that's
Look, that bar did its work. No problems. Okay, so we'll walk down here. Side steps. Have you got any protection underneath those side steps, or is that all just a brush bar?
That's just a brush bar, basically. Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that looks,
and just to make them slightly wider than the factory side steps as well.
That looks fairly substantial anyway, because that brush bar comes back and looks like it's bolted into the chassis at the back there. Yeah, so I mean, essentially that's going to be the same as rock sliders, or
basically
very soft rock sliders. Okie dokie, so that's pretty much factory and a few little add-ons. Let's have a look-see up top here for your rack.
It's a Rhino flat rack, as you can see, with your Kima shovel holder. You just press these and they release. You can actually lock them. They've got a key lock on top, so no one can steal your shovel.
Pinch your shovel. And they've got a couple of side lights hooked up to it, I see.
Yeah, side lights on this side and side lights on the other, individually wide, so you can turn this side on or turn the other side on.
Okay, separately. And that's wired through inside your vehicle?
Yeah, it is, on the dash,
No problems whatsoever. Okay, just while we're quickly standing at the side here, now as an X70 driver, mirrors, stock standard.
They are.
I'm going to ask you a straight up question. What do you think of them?
For my sort of use, I find they're adequate. Should put probably an upgrade, but it's all money, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm hearing you, and that's part of the reason I asked, because seriously, Toyota, you make a fantastic vehicle, don't get me wrong, but really, side mirrors like that, they're terrible. They are horrible.
What they should have on these is electric mirrors as well.
Yeah, look,
an upgrade.
We're not really big on it, but I know Clearview is a brand. I think Clearview make a fantastic product. The Clearview mirrors that they put on, which will retract and come back out again, press of a button. Wonderful thing. Anyway, let's moving right along. We've gone through your tyres. What sort of lift you got on it?
It's a TGM 3-inch lift with TGM pace shocks on it.
Yeah.
They're adjustable shocks. Yeah.
Okay, they're not remote res shocks, are they?
Yeah, they've got res. Yeah, they have.
Yes, they are. Lovely.
The rear is adjustable on the bottom of the shock and on the side of the shock. So you've got a two-way adjustment on the back to stiffen it up or lighten it off. All depends on your driving and towing conditions.
Yeah, very, very nice. Very nice. And do you find you adjust those a lot, or just set and forget pretty much? Although it's a very new car for you, isn't it?
Just for city driving, I set them on the lightest setting. Yeah. Otherwise, they're too stiff once you do set them up high on the higher setting.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I don't have adjustables. Too stiff.
Yeah. No, I'll put them on, say, number 1 or number 2 for around town.
Yeah.
And that seems to work well.
Yep. No problemos. And just a quick one. With this rack here that you've got, and you've obviously got the light bar hanging off the front as well, wind noise.
That's very good. Very light. Yeah, hardly any wind noise at all. Yep.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. That is excellent, because again, that's one of the things with racks. Depending on what sort of racks you get, you can get horrible wind noise on some of them.
Yep.
But yeah, the old Rhino, and I've never had a Rhino rack, but from all reports, they're really good.
It's very good for very little wind noise, you know.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. Okie dokie. I guess now we will sort of move a little bit further down the side of the car, and we'll have a look at the tray.
Yep.
Okie dokie, so now we're at the tray. The first thing I notice is that it's an aluminium tray, which is obviously very, very good for the lightness. Okay, box.
The boxes, I just house some recovery gear in them, that's all. Recovery gear and a few other tools and bits and pieces, just to give them a nice safe environment, lock it up.
Okay, so that was just a board off the shelf?
It is, it's just bought off the shelf, yeah. Not factory or anything.
Yep, no problems. And that's bolted in?
It is, yeah. Bolted to the floor.
Yeah, no problems. I see you've got the rubber non-slip mat there, but
yep.
it's obviously bolted very nicely because I couldn't even see where it was secured, which is a really good thing. You've obviously also got the, I'll call it a work light because reversing lights up there aren't allowed. So I see you've got the work light.
Yep, it is work light
up on the top. Do you use this for work?
No, I don't. No, it's just for.
Okay, so it's a four-wheel drive for a play vehicle and stuff like that. No, I just thought I'd ask the question while we're here. Okie dokie. So, and now we'll pop this up. Because we have toolbox. And I suppose specifically you use that just for carrying odds and sods and bits and pieces.
All I put in there, Gary, is if I can get it open, a spare jack, jumper leads, measuring tape, another hitch receiver, another toe hitch receiver as well, and a few other tools in there as well.
Yeah, no, that's no problems whatsoever, and it looks fairly well sealed, so, and it's very clean inside. So I'm guessing the dust ingress is pretty good.
Seems to be working well.
Yeah, and we'll test it out for water ingress as soon as we get some water in Western Australia, which could be quite some time. Haven't seen a lot of water for a long time over here in the west. And that was part and parcel, or is that an aftermarket add-on?
That's an aftermarket one. Global Industries, they actually make them.
Okay.
Paramount
Industry products.
Yep.
Haven't heard of those guys. Yeah, lockable, which is really, really good. It's a shame to have to say it, but these days, I guess you really have to be aware of what you're storing in and around your vehicle that can be easily accessed when you're not out or not around. So to have one of those lockable, you can put bits and pieces in there, lock it, walk away, and have a relative peace of mind.
Yep. Spare jack, like I say, jumper leads, a few odds and ends, tools, and
yeah, and it's always handy, like you say, that the spare jack you can actually get to that, whereas a lot of vehicles and that their jack is underneath somewhere or underneath the back seat, and a lot of times it's not really practical to start pulling stuff out to get to your jack.
And the spare jack is a hydraulic jack as well, whereas the factory one's just a wind-up one, which is a bit difficult.
Yeah, which is first thing again, Toyota. Real jacks, people, wind-ups. You don't work off-road. Okay, so that's pretty much the side done. We will wander around. Alrighty, TJM Snorkel. Quick chat.
Yeah, the TJM Snorkel fits on the factory mounts, which is a bit of a bonus.
Yeah.
Some other brands of snorkels actually drill holes and mounts, whereas the TJM uses the factory mounts, which is, to me, it's a bonus. You know? instead of putting plugs or bolts back in them, and it's a bit of an eyesore.
I was going to say, if you can get one that actually fits into the factory mounts, it's got to make a lot more sense than plugging holes, re-drilling more holes, because every time you drill a hole, it gives you a rust point sometime down the track.
Yep.
So we'll get through that. It's got a little bit of a different head on it, a little bit of a different ram flow head on it. It's all moulded in one piece.
Yep. Yeah. And the wiring for the actual light bar is actually through the middle of the snorkel as well.
Yeah. I was going to say I've seen that starting to happen more and more and more, where they run all your light cables up the inside of it.
On the earlier forward drive shops are drilling a few holes and poking up that particular way, but we won't go that way.
Now look, I'm always a great advocate for drill as few holes in your vehicle as is humanly possible to run anything.
That's it.
So if you can get something, particularly wiring cables, if you can get it tucked in out of the way, it just it reduces the opportunity for any branches or something to catch wire. Like, I've seen a lot of people run the cable up the inside, like outside the snorkel, but up between your apula here and the snorkel. And yes, it's protected to a degree, but you still have that opportunity for a branch to grab hold of it.
Yep.
You don't notice, you pull up at camp at night and you go, no lights. Thanks very much. So, no, look, really, really good. I actually quite like the look of that TJM snorkel on it as well.
We normally go different brands, but in this case, Wangara TJM talked me into that, so we went that way. And like I say, it's a bonus with the factory mounts.
Very good. Okay. Okie dokie. So first thing that grabs me, I see full-size spare.
There is a full-size spare.
Which is excellent, because a lot of vehicles, if you go the upgraded tyre sizes, you really can't get the bigger tyres in. But with this one, you've obviously got the exact same as you're running on it.
It is.
33-inch BF Goodie.
The tray was actually built to house this size tyre. That's what I specified from Unicorn.
Oh, okay. So when you had the tray built, you specified that.
I did. Yep. Whereas a factory tyre would fit in there, which is 30 or 40 mil less diameter, wouldn't fit in there. So I wanted the spare tyre to fit under there. Didn't want to carry it in the back.
Okay, so that wasn't stock, so it didn't come stock. You had to actually specify that that's what you wanted. No, well, fair enough, and I guess that's the advantage of having or buying a new car.
Yeah.
I also see that we've got the full tow kit at the back here.
Yep.
All original Toyota stuff. So just a quick question with that. Do you always run around with the tow bar on? Or
I do, yeah.
You do?
Yep. Do, yep.
No problem. We'll test that out, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see if we can't get that on a bit of a clip for you. We'll test out how strong that tow bar is.
I'll have to take the tow bar out, I think.
No. Just kidding. No. We'd never do that. Okay, so what we will do, we've had a quick, brief run around. I think we've given the folks a little bit of a general overview on what it is. Let's have a look in the business section of the vehicle and see if you've made any upgrades or mods in there, and at least just talk through it, because I'll be honest, a new 79, that's past me. I haven't sat in a new 79. The 70 series that I sat in and drove in was 30 years old.
This is much the same.
Yeah. Well, they are pretty barren, but I think barren for me works.
Yeah.
I mean, God knows, I drive a Jeep, for crying out loud. You don't get much more barren than that.
The 79 is still a bit old school, but that's what I like about the 79 as well. It's a little bit old school and a solid axle front end. Yeah,
well, we'll talk about that later. Okay, move around to the office. So here we are inside the office, and when we were talking around the back, you said it's very barren. It's not very barren at all. This is luxurious. First thing I can say, the seats, magnificently comfortable.
They're just factory seats, though.
I don't care.
And they've got King's four-wheel drive super centre seat covers on them.
Yeah, no, they are seriously comfortable seats. That's the first thing that impressed me when I got in. I sat in and went, oh wow, this is comfy. Okay, anyway, we get sort of sidetracked. Let's have a little bit of a chat through. There's a lot of things happening in here which are probably standard, but I'll get you to talk us through them anyway.
Yep.
So let's start from the top here. Number one, right off the top.
It's an Outback roof console.
Yep.
Has a few lights and handheld two-way radios in there. I think I even put a measuring tape in there sometimes and just knickknacks, but it's basically to improve the lighting from the factory. You got here, they're individually switched, and at the back you can turn them off and on as well.
Yep, very nice. And you've got the GME
radio, it houses
radio in there, 80 channel, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very, very.
And they've got a magnet on the mic holder.
Okay, and how does that magnet go? Like, in all honesty, is it strong enough that thing's not going to fall down?
It's never come off. Never, no. It's easier to find that when you're forward driving, say, than try and find the hook.
It's not bad at all.
It's quite a good magnet.
Yeah, not too bad. No, it's just a lot of times where people put magnets on things, and I tend to look at it and go, oh, under extreme bouncing around. And again, I'm relating it back to the Jeep that I drive. Bounces a lot. Anything that's magnetic tends to fall off.
Yep. Okay.
So just thought I'd ask a question, but no, look, that's really, really.
It seems
really
to work fine at this stage, anyway. You know?
Yeah, okay.
I think that's just an upgrade that GMA did with them on my other Landcruiser that I had before. They had the hook, but I didn't know that was going to be magnet until we took possession of the vehicle.
Pleasant surprise. Okay, so we look down here. It's natural radio, yada yada yada. Let's have a little bit of a look see at some of these switches that's happening.
That switch there is for the left-hand roof rack side lights, and that switch is for the right-hand side lights.
Yep. Okay, and headlight adjustable switches.
That's the aerial up and down.
Oh, okay.
You turn the ignition on for that to work though. That's all that is.
Yep, no problems. And obviously your traction control button.
Traction control.
Yeah, okay. So they're all fairly straightforward.
Cruise control on this model.
Yeah. Which is not, and 5-speed manual. Yeah. Okie doke. So now there's a couple of add-ons. So we'll have a look through here. Let's first cab off the rank diff lock.
Diff lock is factory as well. Rear and front diff locks.
Yep.
And I have a brake sensor controller, electric brakes, and the alarm is there for the water separator on the secondary fuel filter that was fitted to the vehicle as well.
Yep. Okie dokie. So factory add-on.
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Very, very nice. So you're running an EDS gauge on
Yeah,
the top?
I think these need one of those. That'll
Yep.
keep control of the engine coolant temperatures and basically things like that. And the alternator, what sort of amps you're pumping through your alternator, what
Yep.
sort of volts you are.
100%. And just your normal run-of-the-mill instrumentation. Okay, so we've got the temperature gauge, fuel gauge. Oh, you got dual tanks in this one?
No, this one's only got one.
Only got one?
130 litre
Okay,
tank.
oil pressure gauge. Sorry,
Yep.
I haven't got my glasses on, folks.
Yep.
So oil pressure, fuel, temperature gauge, voltmeter.
Yep.
Tacho speedo, and everything else runs through the EDS. And we've got a couple of gauges hanging up the side here.
That's a EGTs and turbo boost.
Yeah.
And that's a battery monitor for the first and secondary battery in it. It's got a dual battery system as well in it. That just keeps an eye on how they're charging.
Yep, no dramas. And your EGT gauge, what's your standard EGTs that you're running on this? Just run around town, do you think? About 380, 400?
78 degrees, 80 degrees.
Exhaust gas temperatures?
Yeah, exhaust, it has a DPF filter on these, this model, and it'll get up to 500. It'll run about 250, 300 on the normal. I think these do run slightly hotter just to do the DPF burn off.
Yeah, do the regen. Yep. No problem at all. And it's very, in all honesty, like you say, they're a little bit barren, and I guess as compared to some of the, the dual cabs and yada, 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 they might be, but, mate, they've come a long way from what they were 30 years ago when I was, with the one that I had. And like I say, I really can't get over the fact of how comfortable it is. And for a big guy, there's not a lot of cars that you can sit in and go, wow, this is comfortable. Because they normally don't make cars for my size people.
The springs on the rear, they're rated at 400 kilo, I think.
I better get out then.
No. And I had an issue with some were probably not rated hard enough, so TGM fitted 400 kilo rated.
Yeah, constant load springs.
Yeah, lead springs.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's all hunky-dory. So what we might do now that we've had a little bit of a look around, is pull up a chair outside where it's a little bit cooler than it is here. Maybe grab a drink. We'll sit down and we'll have a little bit of a chat through all of the logic and rhymes and reasons behind why this and what you're going to do to it.
Sounds good.
Okie dokie. All right. I guess first thing, this is only relatively new.
That's right, Gary. Yep.
Why'd you buy it?
Well, I've had a single cab 79 and we actually like that, so they brought this model out, the dual cab, so we thought we'd go that way.
Yeah.
And we've got a back seat, you see.
Yeah.
Put more stuff on the back seat.
Absolutely. So look, if you had or have a single cab, so you've just sort of progressed in that, you like it suits your purpose. So that explains that. And again, I'm not saying this to put you on the spot. I'm just going to try and preempt and ask some questions that the viewers will probably want to know about. First cab off the rank in these. Fuel economy. Speak to me.
It's very good. Yep. They've changed the injectors on these compared to the early models, and it's slightly better than the early models in the V8.
Okay, so what are we talking about? 16 litres per 100 of the
We did a trip to Bruce Rock. We went towing it. There was 4 of us, and the back was loaded up. This vehicle averaged 8.2 kilometres per litre.
Okay, so that's 14 per 100.
It's somewhere around that.
Yeah.
Which I was happy with that.
Mate, happy? I'd be ecstatic.
Because it's only done 1,000 or 2,000 kilometres at that particular stage as well.
But no, look, that's really good, because I know the older, I'm talking sort of 2012, 2014. You're kind of looking 15, 16 litres per 100. Under heavy load or heavy work, you're up around the 20.
Yep.
So that's really good fuel economy figures. So two thumbs up for anyone there. And the only big trip that you've done in it, and it's not a massive trip, was to Bruce Rock.
Yeah, we just took the family up there just to pay our respects to a few of the people up there, and we just did an overnight trip up there one time and took it for a run. But it was basically bought as a tow vehicle as well for the boat. Okay,
so you take a boat?
Yep, to Kalbarri, so fishing most of the time, or a bit of fishing off Ocean Reef. But our trips away would be Coral Bay, Onslow this year, taking the big boat up there as well to Onslow, and a couple of dinghies and do a bit of crabbing up there.
Yeah, nice area up around there. Yeah. Okay, well, having said that, have we got any other big major mods planned for this, or are you just going to leave it pretty much as it is?
I was looking at probably putting a uni chip in it, but I mightn't go that way because you've got to do clutch upgrades as well.
Yeah.
The factory clutch just isn't strong enough. I think it's about 350 newton meters, the factory clutch. 300 or 350.
Yeah.
You need about a 1,300 newton meter clutch to go on as well.
I was going to say, I guess too, it's one of those things where clutches never last forever.
No.
So it's one of those things that it's got plenty of power and get up and go as it stands. So when it does come time to replace a clutch, you can always look at going, okay, look, let's get the whole shooting match done now.
The way it is in factory form, it seems to have the sort of power that I want out of it. It has got a 3-inch exhaust from the DPF back. Yeah. Left the DPF filter on there because you have to stay legal these days.
Yeah, well, 100%. And I think there's so much being said about DPFs and non-DPFs and performance and what it should do and what it shouldn't do. The way I tend to look at things, your CAT converters work all right, your DPFs work all right. Companies like Toyota spend like billions of dollars in R&D. They're not going to make a vehicle like this make it compliant by putting a DPF on it and go, hey, that's no good, it's not going to help the car, it's not going to do any favours to anyone, but let's put it on anyway. Those guys are top quality, top-notch scientists. They do their work if that's what they say works.
Oh, definitely.
Who am I to say, no, it doesn't?
I would say the motor's been tuned for the DPF anyway. They seem to, in their standard form, enough power for me, definitely. The other 79 we had, it did need another tune or a chip or something in it, but this one I think I'll just leave it. Even with the bigger diameter wheels on it, they seem to have enough get up and go, you know.
One question that I'll ask you, with the DPF, where they obviously do their regens, ride them down the highway, they regenerate, clear all the soot and gunk out and away you go. Can you get this to do a manual regeneration?
Yeah. They have a manual switch on the dash.
Excellent, excellent. Because that, again, with a lot of the older four-wheel drives with DPFs on them, you didn't have that option of getting it to do a burn. You just waited until the computer said, it's time to do a burn, which might not necessarily have been the greatest time to do a regeneration on it. So that's an excellent sort of... Yeah, no, with the DPF, so we just run that through. We're just having a little bit of a chit-chat in between edits there. Wheel track on the back of these is narrower than the front. And you're saying that you have offset wheels, which helps
offset rims to correct the rear track on them. I won't be putting a J-Max diff in it, I don't think.
And again, that all comes down to dollars and cents there. Quick question. Driven in sand or whatever the case may be, have you noticed it struggle at all? That's sort of reports that I've read and heard when you don't get the rear track corrected.
The other 79 I had, we used to do a fair bit of four-wheel driving that one with the standard factory wheels on it, so there was no offset. And I didn't really find it was much of a problem. Then we did put offset tyres on it, rims on it, and it slightly improved it, but not like people say it's a problem. I can't really see it being a problem.
Okay, and again, I still think that comes down to no matter what vehicle you're driving is suit for purpose. You know, someone could buy one of these and do what average Joe like yourself does. Fantastic, you don't notice a problem. Someone else can buy one of these and they're doing a whole lot of rock crawling or really heavy sand work and you go, oh, that's not good because. So I think it depends on the application of the vehicle as to how bad or how dramatic any issues may or may not be. So yeah, look, as long as it doesn't hinder anything for you, why go down that track of spending a lot of money to get it fixed?
The only thing is you can't have an offset rim and put it on the front. You must just put the normal width rim on the front, otherwise you won't be able to turn them. So I carry a secondary spare which goes on the roof as well, which will also go on the rear. Your track offset will be inside, but it'll get you home. You know?
No, and
otherwise you got to have, if you have an offset rim as a spare and a standard set for the front, you've only got one rim you can just change around. You can't put one on the front, you just won't turn them. You know?
No, and that's all right. But like you say, when you're going anywhere, if you're doing a long distance trip, you've got the two, so you're pretty much covered. And what's the worst case scenario? You get a flat tyre around here, and you get on the telephone, and you call your lovely wife or one of your friends and say, "Hey, help!" Okay. So look, it's all relatively new for you, and I think it's a really exciting vehicle. They're a long way from cheap, but they're a good quality vehicle that are going to last a lifetime. So it's all about what you want to spend and want to pay. And I think this has been a really, really, really good vehicle for you. It suits your purpose and you've got some long-term plans for it. Now, cutting onto something that's marginally different, you said you had a single cab.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so you still drive your single cab?
I do, yeah. Use it for work.
Yeah. Okay, so the single cab's the workhorse, and,
That's right,
this
yeah.
one's a play vehicle.
Yeah.
No problem. Now, I was just going to ask what you were doing with that single cab, because is that the V8 as well?
It is, yep. It's a 213.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
They had me on a DPF on that vehicle as well.
Yeah, no, they had cats on them, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
Horses for courses, it's technology as it goes.
Yeah, the 79's not for everyone, but it seems to suit me as a tow vehicle as well.
Yeah, it's only a personal opinion. 79s, in my opinion, they're not suitable for what I do, but obviously a great vehicle. They're one of the iconic vehicles. The V8 diesel motors that they put in them, a super strong motor there. Yes, they're new. Yes, it's been upgraded, but essentially it's the exact same engine that they've had in these things for a long time, and they just go forever.
2007, I think they brought it out in these, the 79s.
Yeah, and like I say, I could be lying here, but I think they were based on the same block that they've been running around with the V8 diesels for like 30 plus years.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
So essentially, it's the same nuts and bolts. They've just put little add-ons and that to it. So
yep.
It's a tried and tested performing engine, and the same as before that, like the 6 cylinders, the 1HD FTEs. Only my opinion, best motor ever built.
Yep, definitely.
And would love to put one in my Jeep, but won't fit. Never mind. But anyway, look, I think it's a fantastic vehicle. We could probably sit and jibber jabber for a long time about it, but thank you for coming out with us today and showing us around your vehicle. Hopefully the viewers will have enjoyed having a look at the 79, which they see out and about a lot, because a lot of people tend to get out and get the 79 because it suits a lot of the tradies, because it's a thing that you can drive around with all of your work gear in the back all week. Come Friday night, throw your work gear out, jump in it, get it away for the weekend, and get it dirty.
Definitely.
So yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, Riley, for coming and showing us your vehicle. Really
Thank
enjoyed
you
it.
very much,
Thank you very much, viewers, and hopefully we will see you again on our next episode of My 4x4. Cheers.